I'm Sarah Reid, and if you saw my handmade home tour, you might have noticed an incredible embroidery hoop chandelier in my living room. A dear friend of mine made it for my wedding. His name is Rob Ebeltoft. He is an artist, an art installer, a set designer, and I just handed him things I had been collecting for years, literally years and years, and said, please make a beautiful thing for the top of our tent. Thank you very much. We're not gonna make a chandelier as big as he did because that would take forever, but I'm gonna show you how to make a little home-sized version that anyone could make for their house. So I have embroidery hoops of different sizes. I think that's important. You want lots of different shapes and sizes and even materials. They make plastic ones in colors, they make metal ones. These are new, but I encourage you to go to thrift stores because they are covered in them, and they will often have sizes and shapes that you can't really get at a big box store. And then I have lots of fabric options. I have just over the years been collecting vintage fabric. I am particularly drawn to unfinished quilts, but when I find a project like this that someone put so much energy into and then for some reason wasn't able to finish, I feel like it is my duty to bring it home and to honor it. My philosophy in your home generally is if you love something, your love of that thing is going to be the thing that ties it all together. And so if you have been collecting fabric, it will all work together. I could be wrong. You could make a terrible chandelier. Tag me in your photos, let me know. These are all colorful and floral, so I thought I would mix in some ticking stripes as well. So we're just gonna play around with those. I was imagining maybe like a nursery or a children's room, something really playful. But this could be moody, it could be really dark and not let a whole lot of light out of it. This could be all one color. You can really just play around. Okay, to assemble this chandelier, I suggest using maybe 3 or 4 different families. So I've got, this is a vintage sheet, and I've got these quilting pieces, and I've got this ticking. So you put the hoop on, make sure the fabric is really taut, tighten it up. It will feel like sacrilege, and it will feel hard and sad, but we're gonna cut it. I am not precious about this. I don't need these to be perfect. I think the beauty of this craft is that it looks really handmade. So we're just gonna keep doing that. So some of this fabric I will have had literally for 20 years. Through the course of my life, it has been proven to me over and over again that the thing I put in the closet for 20 years, I end up using. When I'm in a thrift store and something is really affordable and it makes my heart skip a beat, how could I not get that? I don't have a relationship to things where I can resist them if they make me feel that way internally. It's incredible to me how much work went into these things, and then they never got finished. I think it would be a great craft to do with kids because they would have so much fun plotting out your fabric choices and seeing what combos there are. I would encourage men to do this craft because they don't embroider a lot, and I think getting your hands on some fabric is good for everybody. So we're gonna piece them together loosely with zip ties, and it's gonna be a big thing like this, and then we're gonna pick it up and attach it to itself, zip tie that loosely, so it will begin to take shape. Wherever you want your zip tie, you're gonna take your craft knife and you're gonna poke a hole. So maybe protect your surface or don't care about your surface. And then you're gonna take a zip tie and you're gonna be really careful with the craft knife. You want the zip tie to be on the inside. You're gonna find your hole, poke it up, poke it down. So you'll pull it, but really loosely, so it wiggles. You can do that. Then I'm gonna attach another one. And this is why you want this fabric to be really taut. If it were really loose, this would be much harder to cut. So now I'm gonna do this about 100 more times, and we'll see what shape it's taking. I have 3 different sizes, the same number of hoops of every size. You could vary them up, but I wanted to make this one as simple as possible. Now I'm going to take the top row and cinch them together. And by doing that, because these hoops are smaller, it's gonna start drawing it in and giving it structure. It's important at this point to not cinch these closed. So I'm doing all of these really loosely. Okay. Now I'm going to connect the ends so that it can really start to take shape. Once we tighten these zip ties, it will take its final form. But before we can do that, we need to hang it up. We're gonna take ribbon, which I have pre-cut all the same length, and we're going to loop it through the tops of the embroidery hoops. Hi, you helping? What I want to do is make sure all these ribbons are at the same length and level. Otherwise, the chandelier will be wonky. That looks pretty good to me. This is a temporary knot. And now we're gonna hang it up and tighten it up. I'm just gonna get this out of the way for a second. It'll come back later. I'm gonna hang this right on the knot so that all the ribbons are the same length. Okay, now I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna start tightening zip ties. This is a little like a corset. It's like something very floppy is all of a sudden really taking on structure. It is not important to tighten in any order. I'm not going full tight, but I'll probably go around and tighten these several times. If you wanted to play around with it being more floppy, you can do that. You could even do this with wire, you could do this with ribbon. If you had embroidery hoops, you could probably make this out of things just at your house. So as a final touch, I'm going to attach these tiny, cute little hoops and just dangle them at various lengths. And you don't have to puncture any of the fabric, you can just attach this to this. I'm just gonna loosely tie these for now and then I'll come back and snip them. You could hang them off of each other, you could go crazy. So we've added some structure by tightening the zip ties. We're gonna tuck in the bulb. Good. And then you wanna cut off the ends of your zip ties as close to the closure as I can. I'm getting the whole tail off. Otherwise, when you turn the light on, you might see all these little tails. And that's not pretty. Once you're finished, clip in all your little bits. You'll turn it on, see how it looks. Adorable! If you have a collection of fabric that is meaningful to you, I think this is actually a great project for you. I actually have a box of t-shirts from my son's life that I've collected, and I may make one of these for him. Follow HGTV Handmade for more crafts just like this.